Who am I? I am a mother of 3 children. I am a free spirit. I am a spatial designer. I love my friends. I love the ocean. I love color. And it was found about a irregular quarter-size lump, my left breast, underneath my left breast towards my armpit, by my primary care physician. And what I find interesting and feel very blessed in the situation is it was at an annual checkup, and I had recently moved to Syracuse, so I did not use an OBGYN. I went to my primary. And I was supposed to have the checkup in September. I usually planned it right after my birthday, and I had to postpone it till November because of work. Week of Thanksgiving, 2007. I had a lumpectomy and chemotherapy and radiation. During my chemo treatment, I signed up for Netflix. I do not stay still too much typically in my life, and I laid in bed a lot and watched a lot of movies. If you ask me what movies I watched, Chemo Brain might not be able to tell you the answers, but I think that was the scariest part for my kids. If you ask them what their memories were, it was that mom who, gets up at 7 in the morning, goes to bed at midnight, never is back in her bedroom during the day. I was in my room a lot. You get depressed, sure. All the drugs make you depressed, and just having something happen that you have no control over can make somebody who likes to be in the driver's seat change their mental attitude. I was terrified. I'm a single parent. My ex-husband is not the most hands-on parent, so I was very scared that I had 2 young children. And I think what I learned the most about fear is it made me really look at how I process information. So my first response was to freak out, and then start to compartmentalize the next step. But it was an interesting lesson in realizing through everything, take one piece of this at a time, this will pass, but the whole thing was scary. I had been living for a year and a half prior to the breast cancer diagnosis in a transition situation. My ex-husband had wanted to pick up our lives, our nice lives in Massachusetts, and move 2 little kids and us to a 1-bedroom apartment above a restaurant in the Catskills. And now we put every penny of my savings into buying a restaurant in the Catskills. And from the first week, the writing was on the wall that it was not a good situation. And when I moved to Syracuse area, getting ready to go through a divorce and coming back to a job that I had had in Massachusetts, I had an opportunity to come here and do something with that. So I picked 2 kids up after such a tumultuous year and a half. I moved, bought a house, opened a business, and relocated 2 kids. So I think they say you're not supposed to do like 2 of those things or 3 of those things, and I did all 3 of them. And then I think the icing on the cake was that my doctor, the same one that found the lump, said, well, now you're divorced, your husband had had a vasectomy, I don't want to put you back on the pill, so I think you should try Depo-Provera. Got rid of your cycles. I didn't feel like I was a woman of the moon anymore. I said, I don't like it. And she said, oh, you got to try it a few different times. So I stuck with it. And I think it was really the perfect storm with stress and conditions. And then if that wasn't enough, let's throw a hormonal big change into your system. So I'm pretty confident that it was a one and done in our family tree, and I think stress plays a big part in any type of cancer. I remember during breast cancer, someone saying to me, if you could change things, if you could blink your eyes and have magic powers and make this go away and turn back the clock, would you do it? And I said, absolutely not. Like, I really feel like it was like that halfway point in my life. And it was time to purge the poisons and adapt a new outlook on life and move forward. So, series of unfortunate events. I wouldn't change a thing. And I have had an amazing group of friends, and I love that my kids went to school here and the people I've met. So I feel that I think ever since the cancer, I got more serious about my bucket list and about, I've had a lot of responsibility as far as raising my children goes and financial. And I love my job, so I'm very fortunate that I have a very social, fun, make my own schedule kind of job, and I do well enough to support my family, liking my job, so I feel very fortunate about that. But I also feel like, please pinch me, hit me. I can't do the same thing in 10 years. Like, I will not have fulfilled what I need to do. So really for the past several years, I've been putting together my next phase project, and it has more to do with making change in the world. I'm committed to being that fiery, strong, sort of putting together all those pieces of who I've been and using it for good. My mom is still here, yeah. And my mom loved afterwards to say, this is my daughter and she's a breast cancer survivor. And I always, granted, I'm, okay, yeah, I'm proud. I mean, my older son had a golf tournament and, everybody climbed on board to do what they could because they felt like that was their way to help. But every time my mom would say, this is my daughter and she's a breast cancer survivor, I'd think, gee, my mom had a rough childhood. She got pregnant at a very young age. Then she got polio when she was pregnant with my sister. Then she had an infection from a hysterectomy. Then she had macular. Then she went blind, and she's calling me a survivor. So we're all survivors. And the older you get, you realize that very few people have daisies and sunshine in their whole lives. Like, everybody gets hit with the lessons we're supposed to grow from and learn from. So I think, we're all survivors. I don't like to be singled out as a survivor. When they told me that most likely after the chemo I would go into menopause, I once again called my mother. Mom, and now I'm going to go into menopause if this wasn't bad enough. And she said, really? How awful. You better rethink this because all women are going to go through it. You're just going to go through it a little bit differently. All of your friends and you went through having babies differently. You were all different ages with different situations. Now you're all going to go through menopause different. Welcome to the real world. And I have to say that going through menopause because of breast cancer was one of those silver linings. I got a hot flash every day at 3 o'clock. I never had night sweats. I didn't get moody. And boom, it was done. What it means to me to be a woman and be feminine is shutting my eyes and feeling the dance that dances inside of me. And I don't tend to have the best rhythm when I'm really dancing, but I think it's just feeling that movement, feeling the river flow through me and and feeling light and sparkle through my eyes. And being a woman involves nurturing. And after my breast cancer, I did a lot of different projects to help women, one of which was working with a yoga called Let Your Yoga Dance. And as you raise the energy in your chakras and you're feeling your energy and you're feeling your power and who you are inside, it has nothing to do with whether you have a uterus or whether you have breasts. It's your sensuality, and your sensuality is divine. Get support. Don't be shy. Find other women, find your network, because we're women. We want to help other women go through it, but also really look forward to, it's going to be 20 different moving parts, and they're all going to be different. And just, it's hard to say roll with it, but know that you might have your expectation and think, you got your boots on and you're, positioned for the next phase, and then you get slammed with something you didn't expect. And not to laugh at it, because it's not funny, but it will pass. It will pass. You will get to the other side. You will be a support for somebody else going through it. I'm doing the Look Now project because, like everything, I always say, I am here because this is exactly where I'm supposed to be. So Cindy Bell, photographer, who I consider one of my dearest friends because I met her through breast cancer. She had told me about the project when she got involved. That was how I came to you.